The beautiful time out here on your favorite morning show, Every Woman, on AtikuLive. It's so good to have you guys join us on today's episode. My name is Tiana Ward Brasi, and as usual, I have my girl with me here.
Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to Every Woman.
Hi, IJ. How you doing?
I'm good.
IJ, you're so excited this morning.
I'm excited.
I
don't know why you're not excited.
Well, I am, but you're overly excited. Is that money to be shared?
I
mean, we're going to be talking about money sharing very soon.
Please.
So today we'll be looking at vote buying and selling, but basically we're looking at the impact on the woman, vote buying and selling. And you know, since the return of democracy in 1999, we've had experiences of vote buying and selling as a continuous reoccurrence, and it has become more effective. Let me say more effective in recent times, because it's like a usual thing.
Yeah.
It has become a norm in our society.
It's become a norm. Like, yes. It's not even odd anymore.
It's no longer odd to see someone give you money in exchange for your vote, or someone willingly selling their vote. I know we're actually going to be focusing on the woman, but let's really look at vote buying and selling generally. It's not supposed to be done.
I know that a lot of times people say these things when they come out and they say, why are we even going to vote? Because why are we getting our PVCs? Why are we going to vote? After all, our votes will not count.
Yes.
If your votes don't count, nobody will be paying you for them. Like, that's the first thing. The reason they are paying you in the first place is because your votes count. That's why they are giving you money.
Yes.
If it didn't count, if it didn't matter.
If you weren't important, if your vote wasn't important, nobody would come to you and tell you, okay, sell your vote to us.
Nobody pays money for a service that that is irrelevant to them.
And these days, it has gone beyond just giving money. It has gone beyond the financial remissions.
Yeah.
It has gone over to
foodstuffs.
It has gone to proposals. Exchange of it's gone to proposals. Okay, vote for me, I'll make you my chief of staff, or vote for me, I'll make you the head of this ward, or I'll make you the chairman of a local government.
I like that you said that, because
financial remissions
most times when we talk about vote buying, what comes to our mind is
just
election day.
Election day, yeah.
Who is buying? How much are they giving you? They give you 5,000 or 10,000. I like that you said this, because I feel like vote buying goes beyond, it's beyond the election day. It starts way before the election day. From, like you said, somebody promising you, I'm going to make you my chief of staff. I'm going to give you a ministerial position. So you now end up selling your votes. And it's not just even that. All this going to somebody and getting endorsement and saying, this is my preferred candidate, just because you've been paid. Now, let's look at the APC presidential primaries, where, and it's hurtful. I mean, you're going to say I've called my best friend again, but please, yes. Allegedly, this lady was induced, obviously, there was monetary inducement, allegedly, and that's why she stepped down, sold her aspirations. And you look at it and you see that vote buying is not just it's not just on the election day. It starts way before then in various forms, with the delegates, with within the internal
party structure. Yes,
it goes on long before the elections finally come to take place. And they have at these different stages, the players are different.
Yes, so I think it's called consultations at different stages. It's called consultations at different stages. You have a pre-consultation.
What is consultation?
Going to meet the people that we've heard cases where candidates have to go to some groups that matter, maybe the
But you know that consultation
market
itself
women.
is not wrong, or it's not bad.
Well, of course it's not bad. It's the intentions that are bad.
Why? If you're using it for the wrong thing, if you're using it as an avenue to buy people's votes or buy their
which has become the
some people have turned town halls into some vote buying avenue of some sort. Some people use town halls to buy people's votes.
So this is what would look at as a political corruption, which is more like the highest form of corruption right now.
Yes.
And it's the least talked about.
Yes.
It's everywhere. In fact, it's a normal thing now. Everybody just wants to belong to a political party, not because they actually believe or vote for a political party or a candidate, not because they actually believe in what the candidate can actually bring to the table. It's what they personally will gain from the candidate. Let's bring this discussion down to the woman, how it affects the woman, the impact of vote buying and selling on the woman. women are always at the receiving end when it comes to issues like this. Of course, women are going to be affected drastically, especially in the rural areas. I mean, these days we've weaponized poverty. There's high rates of poverty in the rural areas, in the communities where women have to, they don't have any choice. They need the 5,000 naira to feed their kids. And right now we're looking at inflation. 5,000 naira can't even feed you for 2 days. So it's obvious that, I'm sorry to cut you. So it's obvious that political corruption now and vote buying is as a result of inflation. We're looking at the inflation cost. So if things are quite expensive now at the market. If we used to give you 3,000 naira to vote for us, 3 to 5,000 naira, we're looking at 5 to 10,000 naira now. Because we need to give you something to be enough to get you foodstuffs in the market.
Yeah.
So women are actually at the receiving end.
Yeah. And I like that you said this weaponization of poverty.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you look at the number of Nigerians that are in poverty, like impoverished Nigerians. We've talked about this so many times. I don't think we even say it enough. So out of the number of people that are poor, that can be classified as poor in Nigeria, how many of these people are women? So when you talk about weaponization of poverty, who are these people that are poor? Who are these people that are impoverished? And how is this being used against them? So you've kept these people in a state of poverty, and then you turn back and you use their poverty against them.
Against them, yeah.
You've seen that these women are poor. And we already also talked about the income disparity between men and women. So already you know that these women don't even earn as much as their male counterparts. They don't have enough. You've now used it against them. We've seen different avenues or different targeted, you have people, these schemes targeted at women just because you want to get their votes out of them, and they understand the power that the women in the women population,
the women population
in their electorate, they understand the numbers. They know that these women are a lot, and they have to find a way to get across to them. So they keep devising means. I mean, we're discussing it just before we came on, and we were talking about the trader money, for example.
Yes.
Why? Because look at it now. How many men are traders?
If we actually want to put that into statistics, you know that the disparity is actually very large.
A lot of women are traders. So this was, I feel like this was targeted at this gender to get them, because they understand that these women contribute significantly to the voting population. So they're trying to get them, and then you do trader. My analysis is, if you want to do trader money, you should have some sort of record, official record. You don't just go into the market and share 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. That doesn't even make any sense.
Yes. And I think this particular issue is what has given rise to women not being fully included in politics. Yes, this has given rise to it. You are at the receiving end. Just be there, right? So it has not given the women the ability to come out. You talked about the allegations on Senator Uju, and if you look at it very well, women do not have the kind of financial strength to combat and stand with the men when it comes to politics, when it comes to elections. So at the end of the day, you realize that you have a high percentage of men coming out to vie for positions, and you don't see the women there.
Of course, they're the ones that even pay, engage in this vote buying, because they have more money, they have more finances at their disposal. They have more money at their disposal. So they can afford to go and share this money and buy the votes of people and disenfranchise women that ordinarily would stand a chance.
Let's bring this down to the women at the grassroots, because at the end of the day, they are at the receiving end. Although we know that the percentage of women in the urban areas is actually different from the percentage of women in the rural areas. Yeah. But let's really look at the rural areas first. Well, we've seen a high percentage of about 33.3% of women in the rural areas who are prone to vote selling, who are prone to selling their vote. Number one, the impact. The women are the one that cater for the children. There is not enough money to feed the children, to feed the family. They are the receiving end when it comes to insecurity. They are the receiving end when it comes to
I understand, and this is why we're speaking up on issues like this. But it's a must to understand. I like the fact that women, as the women that are actually standing up for themselves and saying that, okay, yes, there was a woman, right? The woman in Anambra State during the 2021 gubernatorial elections that said, I don't have 5,000 naira, but I'm not going to sell my vote. We need more of those women. And at the end of the day, I commend the former governor, Willie Obiano, for, he gave her 1 million naira, and, the current governor also saluted her. Everybody was praising her because of that act. But we need more women. And that's just one woman, because you can't tell me that somebody does not have 5,000 naira, they have a sick child, or they have no food in their house, and you expect them to see that money and turn the other way.
When they have kids that are out of school.
They need this money.
Of course.
But then we need to start educating them, because they need also to understand the dangers of vote buying, what it is. Because once you've sold your vote to somebody, you cannot hold that person accountable. You cannot, because that person has bought your vote, they've bought your conscience. So if that person goes into office for 4 years or 8 years and they're not delivering on their mandates, then you can't hold them accountable, because they've bought your conscience. So it's like, give me your votes, I'll give you money, you suffer for 8 years. Someone say suffer for 600 years, but you're suffering.
But at the end of the day, when you realize that you've collected the 5,000 to 10,000 naira from a particular candidate just because you want to sell out, or maybe because you have kids who are out of school, and you just look at it, okay, let me just take this money rather than going to take loan. Now let's look at the PDP presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, that his microfinance bank in Adamawa State has given out 80% of loan to women.
Empower the women, so that they don't have to sell their votes. It's a simple thing. It's a no-brainer.
So you see a lot of, and it's also in record.
But other people have this money,
yes,
and they feel like the best time to use it is during election period, where they can bring bullion vans to their houses. I mean, you have this sort of money. Why not empower these people and let them vote for you based on what you're? I mean, election should be based on what you have to offer. If you cannot sell your character or sell by reason of the things that you want to do, by reason of your manifesto or your policies that you're going to put in place, if you cannot sell yourself to the electorate based on your achievement or your capacity, then you do not deserve to be voted for. We know some people that are currently not even campaigning because they have plans.
They have plans.
Oh well. We'll see.
So let's look at why do you have to take so much time to put out plans to do the wrong thing?
Oh no, they have plans. It's in the plans.
All right, guys, so we're going to go on a very quick break. All right, back, we'll take it from where we stopped. Don't go nowhere.
I believe in Atiku Abubakar's capacity and the presidency, because Atiku is one of the unifying factors that Nigeria needs now. If you look at the scenario of what is happening in Nigeria right now, you'll find out that Nigeria needs a unifier, somebody that can break the ties and able to stop these issues of insurgencies in every area of the country. I like Atiku Abubakar because he believes in human resource. He believes in raising men. You understand me? He believes in the youth. And also, he believes in one Nigeria. I believe in his fatherhood and his legacy that he had laid before with the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. He worked perfectly, and at least in Nigeria as a whole, they are one of the best government under the support of Atiku Abubakar. So I believe in his candidacy, and I believe in his presidential aspirant for 2023. And I believe that he will do better.
As one, we can get it done.
See, first and foremost, I love the fact that Atiku Abubakar is a father. Atiku Abubakar is an epitome of democracy. And because he's a man of purpose, a man of dream, and of a truth, he's really ready to take on the challenges as a responsible father and as a leader. Now, not just a leader, but a steward coming to salvage Nigeria, to rescue Nigeria from the ill-fated quagmire this present administration has brought Nigeria into, and that is the singular reason why I want him. And apart from that also, his fatherly nature made him to be an empathic person. He feels the pain of the all and sundry. I see in him a true Nigerian, not someone that plays regional politics. Yes, Atiku Abubakar is a bridge builder. Atiku Abubakar is a unifier in a true meaning. You see, I love him so much because he sees himself above a region of our northern extract. He sees himself as a true Nigerian. I am from Niger Delta. I was born in the north, and as God will have it, I've traversed far and wide this nation. And I come to realize that Atiku's time is now. because everyone on the street is singing Atiku. In fact, Atiku is being preached in virtually every household as it stands right now. So his time is now. God has destined him, and no one is going to take it away from him.
As one, we can get it done.
If you're just joining us, this is Every Woman on AtikuLive. And before we went on the break, we were looking at vote buying and selling, the impact on the woman. Let's be specific, the impact on the Nigerian woman.
On a specific woman.
On the impact on the Nigerian woman. And we've seen the dangers. We've seen that this is one of the reasons why women can't come out to take the forefront when politics is involved. Because, I mean, the women have been pushed over to a particular point. This is where you are. Just be there. Just be taking the money. And a woman who is impoverished, like we talked about weaponizing poverty, a woman who doesn't have money will take up give her 5,000 naira, she'll take it up.
Except for this woman in Anambra. Please, let's celebrate this one, because it's not easy for you to not have. And she's not, it's not like she had a lot of money. She said she didn't have. She doesn't have this money, but yet she's not going to take it because she understands. You cannot come, yeah? Because people don't understand what we're doing. You cannot sell your votes because you want to take your child to the hospital, and tomorrow you don't have a hospital to take your child to. Because these people are going to let these hospitals get dilapidated, and you're not going to have these facilities. So that 5,000 naira that you've taken is not enough. It is not enough. We need to stand and demand for the change that we want to see. If you sit down and you sell these votes to them, you cannot hold them accountable. You have no right to hold them accountable.
Yeah, when we went on the break, before we went on the break, we talked about political corruption. And we've said that every politician who is coming out to buy votes is actually just investing. At the end of the day, when you vote in an investor, the first thing the person thinks about is recouping the money back.
You have to get this is a smart money move. You put money in, you have to get your money back. And for them, it's now a business. This is an avenue to make money. Because anybody that is going to buy your votes there's nothing that person is going to go and do. That's the truth. That person has no business going there.
No plan, no strategy.
Going to pay you to vote for them.
Yes.
They're not going to do anything. And best believe that once they get there, they're going to try to get that money back.
Let's talk about policies and acts and electoral acts that actually
laws
that actually speak against vote buying and selling. Because these laws have been in place, and I believe the INEC is working towards implementing that these laws are being looked.
There was a bill passed.
Yes. So let's look at some of these laws that govern vote buying and selling as amended, right? And one of the electoral acts says that if you buy your vote or you sell your vote, you're liable to go in for 12 months prison sentence.
Do they know? Do people know?
It still boils down to information dissemination. It still boils down to awareness. It still boils down to let's even look at the motivation.
But
let's look at what is involved.
They need to even start implementing these laws. It's not enough to bring out this.
Nigeria is good at creating policies,
but implementation. I like the fact that in Osun State we saw people getting arrested for engaging in vote buying and selling. So we need, and I feel like there should even be external sanction, if that's a thing, for security operatives that turn a blind eye when this is going on. Because in all of these places, in any place that these votes are ongoing, there are security operatives there. You people are aware. But then again, I know that there are specific security personnel that are deployed to these places simply to look out for vote buying and selling. So
are you talking about deployed to polling units?
Yes. To just look out for vote buying and selling. So if you're engaging in vote buying and selling, you're carried away. We've seen EFCC on that as well. I mean, kudos to them. I like the fact that they're beginning to take this seriously. Step out. If anybody's buying their vote, buying someone's vote or selling, their own votes, then,
Let's look at using technology as a weapon to manage vote buying and selling.
It's a weapon.
It's like a weapon, yeah, because it's a tool. It's a weapon, but because it's the state at which we find ourselves, we can't always be at the bottom in terms of statistics and percentages.
We can't always top to bottom.
We can't always be coming down. So we have to deploy every means to make sure that whatever we're driving is being driven home and driven home well. So let's look at some of the technological tools we can use, like CCTV cameras in polling units, where we're talking about deploying
security
personnel, polling units. Let's look at some of these things
having
we can do.
CCTVs
Yes.
and all. That's as long as it does not compromise the open secret nature of the ballot, open secret secrecy of the ballot system. As long as it's not compromising that, then I'm all for it. Let's have CCTVs there. Let's catch these people, and more than catching them, these perpetrators, let's actually follow up with making sure that they're properly sanctioned.
I think we didn't tell our viewers that we have a guest for
yes,
today.
we do.
Yes, we have a guest, and it's going to be so beautiful to hear her talk to us on what we're talking about.
Let's hear for somebody who is actually, who has run for election, who knows. We have somebody who knows a lot in this field. Yeah, so we're bringing somebody to come and talk to us, a woman like us to understand.
So yesterday we talked about women in politics. When we're talking about women in politics, something struck when you were actually talking about women that take up money. It still boils down to one thing. The women not knowing that actually they can do this. You said something when we started the show. If your vote is not important, nobody's going to give you money for it. If you don't have a good product you're selling, nobody's going to buy it. So your vote is important. That is why someone is coming to meet you to tell you.
In the first place,
that's why someone is coming to meet you to tell you, okay, give me your vote. And we don't even talk about people who take up money, who sell their votes and don't even go out to vote.
No, I mean, there was a popular Nollywood actress that came out to talk about it, Mary Lazarus, and she said that in this 2023, or even in elections generally, if somebody, the politician is giving you money, take the money.
And don't
vote for the person. Me
that
personally, I will even tell you not to even take. Let them go with their money. They should not offer me money. I'm not going to take your money. That's not how I want to earn my money, really. So,
all right, guys. So we're gonna go on a quick break. When we're back, we will be unveiling our guest to you. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us.
This nation, for the first time, is most divided like never before. This nation for the first time stands in a place and position of its greatest challenges, perhaps since the Civil War. This is the most challenging period in the economy of our nation. This is the most challenging period in the security, infrastructure or statue of our nation. This is the most challenging situation in almost every facet of the unity of this nation. And there is no one man, as far as the current permutation, the current arrangement is concerned, that is most positioned to salvage and to save the situation like Atiku Abubakar. I tell you the truth, we all know the presidential aspirants that are out there. By experience, Atiku is far and above every one of them. He has been an elected governor, he has been a vice president for 8 years, and so many other experiences that he's bringing to board. None of them can boast of that experience. None of them possesses that kind of experience coming into this election. He is the one man who has told us he will unify this country, and we've seen his antecedents. He has friends across the length and breadth of this country like none of those presidential aspirants do. He is a man who has connected well with every Nigerian. He's not a bigot. He's not a tribalist. He's a man who knows nobody after your creed or tribe. He's a man who knows you as a Nigerian. Atiku is a nationalist. Atiku is a patriot. This is the truth of the matter. This is the kind of man that the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is presenting to Nigerians. And I can assure you, come 2023, Nigerians will live to celebrate. Nigerians will live to be happy with themselves that a man has come to save Nigeria, that Atiku Abubakar has come to save Nigeria, because that has been in the core of his heart. That has been his heart cry for all these decades, for all these years that he has sought to be the president of this country. And I assure you, he will unite warring factions of this country. He will bring about the security of this country. He will bring about the economic development of this nation, and all Nigerians will be proud. Today, Nigeria has become a laughing stock in the scheme of things, in even on the African continent. We used to be the giant of Africa. We used to be the leader of Africa. But all of a sudden, we've become the laughing stock of Africa. Atiku will change that narrative. Atiku will change that story. Atiku is the best man. He is the right man. He is the man positioned to take this nation to its glory land.
As one, we can get it done. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 AtikuLive 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 2022 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1, the temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2, the people are going to be better educated, and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. 3, the economy is going to be thriving and booming. And of course, there'll be true federalism. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Every Human on AtikuLive, and we're talking about vote buying and selling, the impact on the Nigerian woman. I'm actually being specific, the impact on the Nigerian woman. Before I went to the break, we told you we have a guest in the house, a very pretty lady who is a strong politician, which is what we want in today's Nigeria. Her name is Precious Oyiza Aliyu. She is a former Miss Kogi State and a former aspirant for House of Assembly, State House, Kogi State House of Assembly. It's so good to have you join us this morning. You look amazing. Thank you. So we're looking at vote buying and selling and the impact on the Nigerian woman. I'd like to ask this question. How are women on the receiving end when it comes to vote buying and selling?
The tricky thing about this topic is the impact is on everybody. Be it a woman or a man, it's the same thing. Because you and I are going to face it. The effect of you selling your votes is going to have an effect on you, it's going to have an effect on me, it's going to have an effect on the people around us, the country as a whole, the community. So it's not just about us. That's just the tricky thing about this. It's on everybody. Because one thing people fail to understand is the fact that the moment you sell your vote, you sell your right for to good governance, you sell your right to demand for anything that's supposed to be yours. You sell your right to development.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
Once the person gets there, what he or she is going to do is this. I need to get back the money I spent.
We talked about political investment.
These are our thoughts, exactly.
That's the first thing. And the greedy ones, while getting back their money, they are still stacking up. So by doing that, you can't even develop, you can't do anything.
So you're back to square one.
Exactly.
Waiting for the next election cycle to collect another 5,000 or 10,000.
And this thing is always recycled. It's something that's going to keep happening. Because there are people right now that they don't even know where their next meal is going to come from. Tell me, if you give 1,000 naira to that kind of person, he or she is not going to vote for you. Of course.
And I know in Nigeria, election has turned to a business. Once it's election season, everybody's like, why is it that way? Why is the election supposed to be a business?
Because the politicians weaponized this thing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They've weaponized it. Once they see that their opponent has an upper hand, what's next? The root of all evil. Money.
Okay, now that we are talking about the impact on women, we know that we have women in the electorate and we have women that are actually in politics. And I think so far we've dwelt on how vote buying and selling affects women in the electorate. But how does vote buying affect women in politics? How does it mar the chances of a female politician?
That's a tough one. I'm not trying to sound like a feminist right now, but we are backward in politics, first of all, women. Because they believe we don't deserve a place. Our place is in the kitchen, like they say.
Somebody said the other room.
You understand? So that's where they've placed us. So now, like during my time, I was the youngest female in the whole of Kogi State that was going to run for an office. The intimidation was high because it was basically an only woman in the midst of heavy people. So the intimidation, if you don't have that confidence, you can't even do it. So now, vote buying and selling, it's something that I don't know how to put it for people to understand this right now. You are already left out.
Yes, you're already excluded from governance as it is.
Exactly. Now, women has, should I call it grace when it comes to running for an office? There's this grace that, oh, she's a woman, let's vote for her. She's a woman, let's vote for her. Oh, she's our own, let's vote for her. Now, once your opposition, especially if he is a man, he gets to see that, what's the next thing to do?
He has to buy them. Use the only means that they can, money.
That's why I told you in the first place that they've already weaponized this. And truth be told, it's going to be hard for that to be erased anytime soon.
Okay, so now let's look at the forthcoming 2023 elections, right? And then campaigns are starting very soon. Yeah. You talked about women having this edge over the man when it comes to elections, and people are more disposed when it comes to a woman.
Well, the majority of the voting population is made up of women. Really.
Exactly.
So how do we liberate women? How do we liberate women from these shackles, from selling their vote, from this menace? Because it's actually a menace. How do we liberate women from it?
Like I said, it's already like a disease that has eaten deep into the tissue. So getting it out is going to be very difficult. It's only by the grace of God, you understand? But there are still people out there, no matter how much you're going to give to them, their heart is already set at, this is the person I'm voting for and there's nothing you can do about it. But we still need to educate people, women, because they, just like you said, they have the most power when it comes to this. So I think it boils down to starting from the grassroots, setting out to enlighten them, let them know the effects of them selling their votes. You understand? Now you have a market space. That's where your money comes from. That is where you train your children that you are expecting a brighter future for. If you sell your vote to these people, the bright future you are expecting for your children is not going to happen. Because the bright future can only happen when there is development, when the government is working, when the people in positions are doing what they are supposed to do. So the moment you sell your vote to the wrong person, and the thing is, the people always buying the votes, or the people we are always
who buy our votes.
Yeah, exactly. 90% chances they are always the wrong people.
I mean, they have to be wrong to want to sell to buy your votes. They have to be wrong.
They are always the wrong candidates. They are always the wrong candidates. So now tell me, if you sell your vote to this person and you are now expecting that when he or she gets there tomorrow,
they will represent you.
Now you're expecting a bright future for your children. You work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. under the hot sun, raise money, pay school fees, and then boom, we're on strike. For how many months? Kids has been they've been home for months. And it doesn't look like anything is going to be done about it soon.
So you're saying that one of the major ways that we can actually curb this menace is
we need to tell them the effects. We need to open their eyes. So this 5,000 naira is not going to save you.
No, you're talking about people that are taking 5,000 naira. Let's look at the people that are getting more in the sense that we're looking at delegates, because women make up these delegates. They are part of these delegates, and they still sell their votes.
You know, the thing is, the delegates, most of them believes the only time they can get money from politicians is during the election.
It's business.
it's business. This is the only time. When we call him now, when he gets there, he's not going to answer our call. Get as much as you can from this person.
So why not find somebody who's actually going to listen, who's going to, answer
Take
to you?
your
Because
call when you call,
know what a delegate is. You're representing people.
That's why we need to enlighten these people. It's not by being educated, though. Like my mom will say, they are educated illiterates.
Actually.
So you need to sit them down and make them understand and see reasons why they need to stop doing this. And that's going to take a very long time. A very long time.
But what are the causes? Like, we've mentioned weaponization of poverty. We've talked about lack of education now. What other causes? Are there any other causes? Like, why do people actually sell their votes?
Yes.
It's poverty.
That's like the major cause.
It's poverty.
Some people don't trust the system. They say it's because there's nothing.
Greed. Poverty and greed. If you have 1 million naira right now, and then I give you 5,000 naira to vote for me, you're just going to see me as, who's this one? Shift. But then, if you have less than 1,000 naira on you, and then I give you 2,000 naira to vote for me, aren't you going to vote for me?
Okay, so now let's look at let's look away from financial financial buying of votes.
Yeah,
we've had issues where
it's not just about
the money.
They give you positions.
Yes, it's not. It's not just about money. Actually, you're right. Some it's about religion. It's about tribe. Oh, this person is from my place. I'm going to vote for him or her. This person is a Christian. Why didn't you pick a Muslim? The biggest problem in this country is religion and tribe. I keep saying it. That's what's killing us in this country, especially religion. That's what's killing us.
People have been indoctrinated.
Exactly. That's what's killing us in this country.
So whether the person is good or not, you vote for the person because
he or she is a Christian or a Muslim.
Or is a Muslim. Just vote for him.
Vote for him. That's Precious. Oh, she's from my place. I'm going to vote for her. Oh, that's Kabril. He's from my place. I'm going to vote for him. You don't care if he or she is the right candidate. But because you guys are from the same place or you worship at the same place, you're just going to vote for the person regardless.
And you carry other people along.
You're going to. You go into your office, tell your colleagues, oh, my sister is actually contesting for something. You guys are not related. This person doesn't even know you.
The person has no plans for you, no plans for your children, no plans for their community. Sometimes people that are even campaigning for these people don't even understand.
That's what I'm saying. We need to enlighten them. So how are we going to do that? When are we going to do that?
When are we going to do that?
When are we going to do that? That's just it. Because now, politicians, they know this is where their power lies. So whenever you try to make a move that they know that, okay, this is going to jeopardize their plans, they're not going to let you.
I want to actually ask, sorry, when do we draw the line? I mean, we know that there are intervention projects. Yeah, I know that Atiku has this Women for Women, for example, that has been on for a very long time, as against certain other intervention projects like the trader money that started just before election and ended. You know, we've not seen anything, we've not heard anything about trader money since then. So how can we start to differentiate as women? So let's not classify everything as, vote buying and selling. It's not business as usual. Some actually intervention projects. But how do we differentiate between actual intervention projects and vote buying and selling?
That's going to be a tough one. If we want to be sincere with ourselves, it's going to be a tough one. But if we want to be, if we want to cop this thing, we can actually do it. We can actually do it. So I think the only thing is just understanding the fact that what you're doing is wrong. You know, when you're doing something and then you don't know it's wrong, you're actually not going to stop. And then some people actually know it is wrong, and then they'll tell you, what's my own? It's another 4 years now, we'll go through it.
4 years of my life.
It's another 4 years, we'll go through it. But they don't understand that 4 years, a lot can
actually happening.
Yeah,
for
but
us.
shouldn't we
Even
have
in a
like
month.
policies? Shouldn't we have policies that
would
kind of guide
us?
these things
Yes.
and state the difference
This
so that
is
we
Nigeria.
know?
Sorry to say, this is Nigeria. Even the people in the position to do the whole policy thing,
They were elected. They came through some of these processes themselves.
they answer to people.
Mm.
They take orders. I read something on a friend's WhatsApp story a few days ago that a soldier posted and she reposted. In the person's exact words, he said, and I quote, "If una like, make una go vote wrong person. Our own be say, they go give us order, we go take una go die."
Wow.
Which is actually true if you look at it. It's not the soldier's problem.
There's
He
always
takes
somebody
order.
to answer to.
He just, till today we are still asking, who ordered the killing?
At the
I'd like
Loki
it
toll
to
gate.
wait, yeah.
You can't blame those people that showed up there. They took order. But who was behind it? Who's that person? We are still asking till date.
And people stood and said they didn't know that this kind of order was made in their states.
Like, we are not dumb. Even if come on.
Okay, so for the purpose of this program, right, it's every woman, and with reference to your experience when you came out to run for office, how do we get women actively involved? Because I mean, you were like the only woman
like
in
you
your
said.
state who took up the confidence and took up the mantle to run. How do we get more women actively involved?
When I just started speaking, I told you that we as women, we are backward when it comes to politics, because they had already placed us in the elder room, right? But it's just, to me, I feel you just need that confidence. You just need to know what you want for yourself. The moment you decide, this is what I want for myself, you're not going to care what anybody else has to say. You're going to go for it.
So were you given the enabling? Do you have an enabling environment enough for you to venture into this? Some people don't have that.
I'm going to say I am blessed. I will say I have and then I didn't. Yeah, it's a tough one. Because there were some people that, even before I picked the form, I had already reached out to seek for an advice. They've been in politics, of course, you're an elder. What do you think about this? As Kogi State's concerned, there has only been one woman in the state's House of Assembly.
Yes.
Can we break this record? Can we make this happen? Can Precious make history? And then some were like really proud for making that move. And then some were like, are you sure you're not just get married? And then a fellow woman actually told me, I need to get married before I can contest for anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they tell this to the men as well?
That's what the problem is. Supporting women, they say. Women supporting women, they say, right? But that one was in the mud. Sorry.
So that brings me back to this question, right? Aside from creating awareness, we really need to get women actively involved, because if a woman is involved, I don't think a woman will come out to say this. You have to be married before you vie for a position.
There's actually a woman in politics that told me that.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what she was told.
Exactly. That was what
And she
she
probably
was
got
told.
married because she wanted to be in politics.
Exactly. Because where I come from, they believe, okay, two things actually was pointed out to me. First, I'm a Christian and I'm from Kogi State. We all know that that's not central, majorly Muslims. What people were saying, like, oh, number one, you're single. And then secondly, I'm Christian.
And you are the youngest.
And I'm the youngest.
So it still boils down to what you said before, that religion and ethnicity and tribes really affects politics.
And the thing is, when the first time after I had, when I was done with my screening, I had to go home, of course, to see my people. When I got home, I was received like, I wasn't even expecting it. And half of the people that, 80% of the people that received me were women. They are majorly active but not to contest for a position, but to vote.
Okay, so now let me ask this question. With your experience, what are you doing to break this norm? Because you said when you went home, you were really received, and 80% were actually women. So what are you doing currently? Because I mean, we're fast approaching 2023 elections. So what are you doing to break this norm?
I'm this person who I like to go for things people feel I shouldn't go for. When you tell me not to do something, I'll do it, because I want to see why you told me not to do it. I was Miss Kogi 2016 and the first Ibira girl to ever contest for me, to ever win Miss Kogi. Before I contested for Miss Kogi, in my place, Kogi Central, they believe pageant is not proper. You understand? When I wanted to go for it, people were discouraging me. No. What will people say about your family? How can you go and contest for? No, that's not right. But it pushed me. I'm like, why you guys? Okay, let me even go for it. What's going to happen? But then I broke the gene. And trust me, there are a lot of girls.
From Ebira who can
the present Miss
confidently
Kogi
go
is
now.
actually from my place. So when I did that and then I saw the outcome, people that were against it before were actually the first to pick their phones to congratulate me. So it's just, I love doing it when you tell me I cannot do it. Because I need to prove a point. I love proving points.
Were you taking seriously? I mean, making that transition from pageantry to politics?
Politics, yeah.
Did you have that issue?
You know, what they were saying on media is, this is not pageant, this is actually a proper election. That was what they were telling me. But people that knows me, people that are close to me knows that this is something I've been wanting to do since I grew in the midst of politicians. My family are into politics. So I grew up in the midst of politicians, and it's something I've been wanting to do because I have a voice and I need people to hear me. I want to help people, and then I need an avenue to do that because I can't do it on my own. So it's something I've been wanting to do. It's discouraging. Honestly, being a woman in politics, it's discouraging. Let nobody lie to you. It's discouraging. I've had people tell me, you have to sleep your way up there.
Oh, wow.
Does that happen in politics as well?
They say it does, but I've never experienced it. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, when we look at our time is fast spent, right? If we leave our guests, we're going to go on and on. But let's just take let me just ask this last question, right? In favor of 2023 elections, the presidential candidate for the People Democratic Party has promised a 35% to 40% inclusivity of women in politics. Now, would like you to say something to the people watching you now. We've seen this administration. We've seen that women are backward. We're like 6.6%, which is really, really below Africa. Yes.
Really.
So what are you saying to the women out there, aside from you doing something in your little space to make sure that women get actively involved in politics? What are you saying to women? They say, na person where Sabi Road, now we go follow. Na person where answer us, now we go listen to. Because
and do you think that this 35 to 40% is actually going to do anything in favor of the women?
It will, actually. It will.
No, from your own personal experience, you think it's going to help?
It's better than less than 6%. Yeah, if you ask me. But the thing is, it is time for the women to wake up. Are you guys not tired? Sincerely speaking, are you not tired? So it is time for us to wake up, because if you even look at it, how will they vote pass for
51 over 14, the last election.
I
you
use
looked
pidgin
at
because
it.
they need to understand what I'm trying to say. So now you have this power in your hands. Why not use it?
I said this earlier on. Can we as women even give block votes?
Yeah.
Can we stand together and agree on a candidate that cares about us? Because everybody, like you said, people come to you and say, oh, you're from my side, so I'm going to vote for you. Can we do as women? Oh, this candidate is for us. Let's vote for a candidate that is for us.
That has our interest.
It would have it would happen if it is not Nigeria. Because a lot of people are scared of what their husbands or husbands' people are going to do to them if they go against what their husband tell them not to do. I don't know if you get that statement. You know, compared to other countries, civilized countries, where a woman has the right to do what she feels, whatever it is she wants to do. Here, we have culture, we have process. A married woman can't just stand up and say, I want to do this. You have to consult your husband. And once he tells you no, there's nothing you can do about it.
So this is a wake-up call to our men to support their women. Give them
the
support that they need.
But are they going to?
Yeah.
my final question is really, how can we check this vote buying and selling? In your opinion, what can we do to check vote buying and selling in a way that so that it favors the women really?
You know, this last Oshun
elections,
the EFCC actually tried their best. They arrested a lot of people. Before I came in, I heard you talk about CCTV cameras, but then that's where the vote process is going. These people don't come there; they wait for you at the gate. They wait for you at the gate. Once you come into the field, they are the first people you meet, and then they convince you and then give you money to go and vote for this.
But where are these party agents getting this money from? Where do they get from the party? I mean, we've seen somebody during election that came in with a bullion van, so we want to know.
It's definitely not from the party. It's definitely not from the party, because if it's from the party, you're just going to look at it like, it's their money now, not my own. They use their personal money. That's why they tell you once they get there, I need to get back my money.
So it still boils down
people
to
go as far as taking loans for elections.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are those the kind of people that we want in governance, really?
Definitely not. But unfortunately, we keep getting them. And the earlier we wake up, the better it's going to be for us. Else, you're going to go another 4 years, and then before you know, we'll be owing. In fact, you know, if you calculate the money that Nigeria
that they are sharing,
you'll start touching your accounts very soon.
This money that they are sharing, that they are bringing for us, what is it for? Is it for beans? Is it for abado?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious, for talking to us. It's been a beautiful time.
Very enlightening.
We've actually learned a thing or two. This is the most we can take for today's episode. And I know that the women listening to you would sit up because campaigns are fast approaching. Yes, so we believe women
for the sake of their children.
Yes,
and there's a lot
because when a child spoils, they'll tell you
it's the mother's child. It's usual.
So it always falls back on us. So it's time for us to wake up. And the earlier we do that, the better it is
for us. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, our social media handles are displayed right now on the screen. Do well to send us your suggestions, your tweets, and your comments. And we're going to read them in the course of the show. This is the most we can take. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you to our guests for being a part of today's episode. My name is Tiana World Barsi. I will see you next time, same time on Every Woman.
I am Ijoma Odimodo. Until I see you tomorrow, don't sleep, wake up.